Hi everyone, welcome. It's time for carrots again, my favorite of the root vegetables. And it truly is. I eat carrots raw. I don't know, since I was a kid, I always loved carrots. I think it came from my mother telling me as a kid that carrots were good for your eyes. And then she'd tell me, have you ever seen a rabbit wearing glasses? And I would just laugh. And anyway, so I've just always kept that memory. And I don't know if they will keep glasses away or not, but they taste wonderful. And in soap, they lend a couple of fun benefits. First of all, they smell great, I think. Now, does the carrot smell carry over into the soap? No, not really. It doesn't. You will get sort of an herbaceous smell, but it's very faint. And that's why I always like to add some herb essential oils like basil and sage and oregano when I make my carrot soap. Many people believe that the carrots, especially as much juice is going to be in this, helps with several conditions of the skin. I'm not 100% sold on that, but I can tell you that I love the way carrots feel in the soap on the skin. They very similar to goat milk and some other wonderful natural things. I believe that it adds more bubble. I believe that it adds more slip to the soap, meaning that it glides over the skin, and it's very gentle. Now, there are people who believe that it helps with lightening dark areas of the skin when left on for extended periods of time. I don't know so much about that, so I'm not going to make any claims about it, but it's going to get noisy here, so I'm going to be muting the mic and while I get these prepared. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Matter of fact, let me move this back a bit so you can see a little more what's going on. The bulk will go in here, and it won't be going in the trash. Part of it's going to be going in a stew I'm getting ready to make. And the juice will go here. So here we go. Good stuff. It smells wonderful. I may just have a glass of this too. All right, let's get putting this together. All right, so to my carrot juice, I've added 2 tablespoons of paprika. And I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of turmeric. This will help with the color because carrot turns brown. It does not keep its color, unfortunately, in the soap. So we kind of have to create our carroty color. And I have found that by mixing paprika and turmeric together, it helps to approximate the color of the carrot. And yet it's all natural, and I think it just adds that little bit of je ne sais quoi to the soup as well. All right. So I've got that well mixed. And I'm going to now get this in ice trays so that I can freeze it and it'll be prepared for our soap. All right, so we have our carrot, paprika, and turmeric cubes here ready to go. One of my favorite things to do is to combine lye with other things and watch the magic happen. And isn't it magic? Now, I'm not talking about supernatural magic, I'm talking about natural magic. The chemical reaction of the sodium hydroxide, which is a naturally occurring element. Okay, let me give you an example. And I've brought up this example in the past. Imagine there is a terrible fire in the forest and some poor animals succumb to that fire and they fall dead in the ashes. And over time it rains. Well, you have the fat from the animal, you have the sodium hydroxide, which is the wood ash, and water. This creates what we know as soap. Not a very appealing soap, not one that I would certainly want to bathe with, but the point is it's a chemical reaction, a natural chemical reaction that happens, and it's one that we can replicate right at home as soap makers. That's all we're doing. We're creating a chemical reaction. Now think about that natural soap in the forest I was just talking about. Once it becomes soap, the wood ash is no longer there. It has changed into soap with the oils from the animal, the fat. And the same is true of the sodium hydroxide that we use in our soaps. There are a lot of people that are fearful of the word or the phrase lye soap. All soap is lye soap. Even melt and pour was lye soap. The only difference is when you buy like melt and pour that's already been made, the lye has already changed it into soap. So you're not getting a lye-free product, no more than this is lye-free. This will be lye-free once it turns into soap as well. That's why a lot of times you will see on soap products, it will say saponified oils instead of lye. Saponified just means that those oils have been turned into soap by the sodium hydroxide that create, or sometimes you may see it listed as sodium pomade. That's just palm oil that has been saponified with sodium hydroxide. There's all sorts of different ways of describing these on products. Lye has been used. If you use soap, whether it be liquid soap or it be solid soap like this, lye has been part of that reaction. And for some people, they don't believe that. There are people who will swear that there's no lye in their soap. They would never use lye soap. And perhaps that's because lye soap historically got a bad rap. And that was because, well, my grandmother and maybe many of your grandmothers that made lye soap did have to use wood ash. They couldn't go out and buy laboratory created sodium hydroxide like we use. That's why when people call their soap natural soap, it's not really natural soap. Natural soap is like that that's out in the forest. We're creating the soap. We can say it's made with natural ingredients like this, now carrots and turmeric and paprika. Those are natural ingredients. We're going to use essential oils, which come from natural ingredients, but that's a story for another time. But calling something natural, don't let that fool you. But anyway, my point is that the soap that we sell you, me and other homemakers, or even larger companies that make soap this way, we know that it's safe. We know that it's better than a lot of soap that you may buy in the stores that has detergents and hardeners and some really bizarre things in some of them that I have looked at. These are much more pure. So that's why when I say something like carrot soap, I believe is better on the skin, and it's because I believe it, because I believe that this soap is more gentle. This is made from organically grown carrots. There are no pesticides or other kinds of chemicals that have been introduced into this soap. All right, so we're about melted here. So the next step is to introduce our lovely carrot juice mixture here into our lovely oils and butters. So let me get those over here, and by the time I've got them set up, these last few bits should be melted. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so I have I guess I shouldn't say welcome back. To you, it's just been a click. 1 second, right? But anyway, so I've got my oils and butters here. The usual suspects of olive and coconut, shea butter, cocoa butter. This actually has some mango butter, cocoa butter, castor oil, and I think that's it. I'll put them on the screen in case I did miss anything. All right. Oh, my essential oils here. This is a fun mix here. I was very careful putting this one together because I had of course I wanted herbal essences in this. But there is basil, sage, a little bit of oregano, very little, because it will accelerate the trace far too fast if you put too much. My experience. A bit of spearmint, anise, and a little bit of clove leaf. And I think it just adds just the perfect fragrance for this lovely soap. That's just me talking. I have some more turmeric here that I'm going to be separating out some of this, and it may be hard to believe that I can change this color into anything else, but I'm going to give it a try with some additional turmeric, and it'll also add a bit of lovely texture throughout the soap and a little bit of mild exfoliation as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get this into our oils. Need to scrape it on out here to get all that wonderful carrot goodness into the butters and oils. Okay, now I've got it right good at emulsion. So I'm going to split off a little bit of this and we're going to give it a try. I don't see any variation really yet. That's the key word. This will all lighten up and change a bit. So we're going to pretend that there is a variation there. And I can see a little bit of color variation there. And it may be just that subtle. And that's okay too. This doesn't have to be too in your face. So I mixed a little bit of titanium dioxide and a little bit that I scraped out of the bucket, what was left, because I want to try to give a little variation to it if possible. This is already thickening up a bit on me, so that's okay for what I'm wanting to do. This is okay, actually. I kind of like that. I need to move a little quicker there. Okay, maybe put a little more there since I thickened up the others a little more than I meant to. Bear with me. And if anybody says this looks like ketchup and mustard, I will never talk to you again. No, I'm kidding. That's what it looks like to me. Let's see if I can get a little more of that down here. So what do you think? Some variation in color there. It's not it's not one solid color, so I'm happy with that. Looks like I banged the corner here on it. I hope that, well, that's okay. End off there. I hope you're getting enough carrots and beta carotene from in your life. I just want all of my bunnies out there to not be wearing glasses if it's not necessary. So these will lighten as they are exposed to air and cool. So the final picture will show you the actual color. Right now they're pretty dark. Now the top is a little lighter because remember I mixed in that TD on the top. I just wanted to add some variation there. And these are nice and they're not soft, but I will tell you they're still warm. I did gel these, which just means I insulated it. I just wanted to make sure that color was nice and bright. And I think in that area, it's a success. I think that the color is nice and deep, and I'm quite pleased with them. And I hope you've enjoyed this time. I was less chatty in this video than I am in some, and that's just because things have been a bit hectic at work. Not in a bad way, just in a busy way, and I had such a rough week with the power being off last week, and I did lose 3 baby goats that were born during that time. I'm very sorry to say, but 7 are doing really well. And I look forward to sharing some videos of them with you all. If I can, I'll slip them into this video if I haven't already and you've already seen them. But yeah, that was a once in a lifetime kind of weather event for us here in Texas. And I will tell you that it's changed a lot of people's lives. here. There have been cattle that have been lost, people that have been raising cattle here for years and years successfully, without any ill effect from weather, suddenly have experienced losses. Their cattle dying, you know, finding them dead in their ponds and things. Just horrible, horrible things. Very upsetting. And our state is re-evaluating, the state of Texas, on how they will deal with these kind of issues in the future to avoid the kind of power outages and loss of life, human life as well. I don't mean to negate the human lives that were lost as well. And I'll tell you, by that third day, I was so cold myself, I was getting concerned that something bad might happen to me. I'm serious. I was getting very worried about that. It's like, well, I shouldn't say I wasn't very worried, but it had crossed my mind, you know. It's like, what if you fall asleep and things can happen? But it didn't, and so all is well. But if I didn't already say thank you to all of you for your kind messages, your generous offers, I am just in awe of the kindnesses. I'm not shocked because I know what wonderful people you are from past experience, you know, talking with you all. But I just want to tell you how much it meant to me reading those messages, logging in on my phone when I could and looking at messages and just seeing the kind comments left by people. I was just blown away. And I just want to say thank you, all of you. Thank you so very much. It meant so much to me and Barry and the animals here to know that you were there thinking about us with positive thoughts. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. And I've been thinking about how can I really say thank you to these people for what they've done. What could I do? Well, I am going to be having the drawing that I had told you all about before all of this happened with the wash kits. I'm really looking forward to giving the 3 of those away in the next video. That's what I'll be doing. But I wanted to make a soap. I so wanted to stop and make a soap. It is what I take pleasure in doing, and when I'm not doing it, I'm not getting pleasure doing the one thing that I love to do. So I just want to say thank you all so much. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.